I swear this season of The Flash, the final season of The Flash, is testing my patience. It's almost like they're saying, how bad of an episode can we do before people just tune away? Before people just say, enough is enough and it's time for a change? I mean, let's be honest. How many people are still watching this goddamn show? How many people are still interested in what goes down with this Flash show? I mean, am I the only one? Let's be real. Am I the only one who's still watching this goddamn show? This is season 9, episode 8. We're on episode 8 and we still don't have a direction. We don't have a main villain. We don't have shit going on for this show. This was called Partners in Time. Get it? At the very beginning, we see in the year 2123, and I almost got excited for a second because I thought, holy shit, are we going to see the Legends of Tomorrow? Are we going to see Sarah Lance? Are we going to see some of my favorite characters from the Arrowverse because of how much I enjoyed Legends and how much that cast and those characters deserved a real proper send-off? But no, it was just some random person wearing a hood who tried to steal something from the Flash Museum, but there was an alarm, and so they bounced. And then we see today's date, like actually today's date, April 5th, 2023, and this will be severely outdated in like a week. Given the amount of times that Flash has time traveled, and given the amount of times that the finale of a season takes place and then the next season's first episode is immediately after, I don't know how exactly this date makes sense or how accurate that would be given how much time has gone by. But anyways, we go to present day and we see Barry is 100% preparing for this baby. Iris is 2 months pregnant and he's making a crib and he's really excited. And that's cool. You know, I like seeing Barry and Iris being a good couple, getting along, not having secrets, not treating each other like shit, not having horrible forced arguments. Some people might find them to be boring now, but I would much rather them be a boring, nice couple than CW drama bullshit, because we got plenty of that later on in the episode. And then I realized what the plot of this episode was. And I thought to myself, wow, could we not get any lazier? Are they really spending episode 8 with only, 5 episodes left in the season, with a bunch of mold inspectors coming to Star Labs? Yes, you heard me right. Mold inspectors. There's a bunch of different inspectors who come to Star Labs and they're inspecting, looking for mold. That's the plot of this episode. This episode of a show called The Flash. And we haven't had any villains that he's really had to deal with for how many episodes now? It's been more than 4, where it feels like there hasn't been any real threat, hasn't been anything that's leading up to a final villain ever since the Red Death or Evil Batwoman episodes. And as bad as that was, at least the villain plot was clear cut. At least we had something. This is a shortened season as well. Usually CW, these Arrowverse shows, their seasons are like 22 episodes. This is down to 13. And they have been killing time, wasting time, nothing to do, nothing interesting or exciting going on. So as everyone's inspecting, they go into this one room. And in this one room, they see this giant clock. And then when they try to leave the room, they can't. They're trapped in this room. If they go out the door, they just wind up back in the same room. And so we have a bottle episode. We have yet another episode. We just did this last week with Iris and the Dreamer. They were stuck in a dream, right? And they were trapped. And then in the very first episode, Barry and Iris was in a time loop where they were trapped. And so now, for the 3rd time in the same season, Barry and Iris are trapped again. Talk about story, creativity, bankruptcy. I swear, I'm going to blame the showrunner. Because the writers, yeah, sure, but it's the showrunner. It's the showrunner who is just the definition of laziness. The definition of, I don't care, I get paid either way. I don't want to see the showrunner, Eric Wallace, I believe his name is. I don't want to see him on another show. I don't want to see him get another job after this. Because, my friend, you don't deserve it. This is some bullshit that you're shitting out for your loyal audience, people who have been here for the dark ages, which have been the last few seasons, people who have stuck by because of the good graces, the goodwill of those earlier seasons. And so we feel trapped, we feel confined. I'm too stupid to just stop watching the show cold turkey. I'm too dumb to not want to see how this bullshit ends, so I continue to watch. My fault, sure, but fuck this shit. So they're going through and they're trying to figure it out, and Barry even gets the bright idea of like, hey, I should time travel. I'll travel to the future to see how we solve this, come back and do it. Even though every time he time travels, he fucks something up. Season 9, and Barry still hasn't learned anything. So he goes ahead, comes back, and yes, not only did nothing happen as far as him figuring something out, but now all of the people in the room are wearing different clothes, and there's more objects in the room. So at first I thought, did Barry really just fuck stuff up again? Thankfully, it wasn't his fault this time. It's because that they are in this time loop. And because they figure out that somebody in this group is a time thief, that's what's causing the anomaly. That's what's causing weird shit to happen. They even recreate a scene that was kind of like from The Thing, right? When they were testing the blood to see if they can figure out which one in the group is the alien. And then when they do, the guy freaks out, the alien comes out. So they're using some time scanner bullshit. Of course, they just have that. They happen to have that in the room, in their back pocket, up their ass. And they take that out and they're scanning everybody. And right before they get to the last guy turns into a statue. So I guess he died. They say that he died. He was erased by time and turned into a statue. And then eventually Barry and Iris figure out that, oh, it's the Asian chick. She's the one that's the time thief. Now they figured it out because earlier she didn't know what a circuit breaker was. And so they must have been like, aha, you're a phony. Which is just, okay, whatever. So then she kills the other two inspector people, or she turns them into statues. And then they talk, and they try to make the time thief. First of all, her name is Lady Kronos, which I will admit, the name is pretty badass. Even when she revealed herself, and she was wearing the hood, and she had the white makeup on, she looked kind of cool. Until I realized that she had a clock hand on top of her forehead. That was really dumb. But I thought to myself, okay, fine. And they tried to make her sympathetic or relatable because she said that, oh, hey, I didn't mean to kill those people. They just happened to touch the time magnet bullshit thing that she had. And that's what killed him. Even though we saw her use the magnet thing on the other two and willingly turn them into statues. So she's a liar. She's full of shit. And they realize that the time magnet's the reason why this is happening. And they basically put it on her. Hey, you need to go back in the future. You need to put this time magnet thing back because there's no other way we can do this. And if you don't do it, we all in the room die. So reluctantly, she goes to do it because she'll be arrested in the future. And so she goes, she does it, and the whole room resets itself. And it's like, well, alrighty then. That was weird. And then the inspectors come into the room and, I should have revealed earlier that because they were in danger, because Flash, Barry didn't know what was going on, he revealed his secret identity to this random group of strangers, to these inspector characters. So they now know the whole time in the episode that he's the Flash. So when everything gets undone, when the time gets reset and the inspectors come into the room, they're not dead, because time was reset, I guess. They come into the room. They don't they don't retain the knowledge of him being Flash. They don't remember it. It's like it didn't happen. So basically, this entire episode was for nothing. It was a waste of time. It was bullshit. Nothing advanced. We didn't have fun. They were clearly trying to go for a fun, lighthearted tone, but I didn't laugh. I didn't have fun. I didn't enjoy this at all. I couldn't help but think once I realized that they were going to be stuck in a room that it was just the lowest budget, laziest plot that we could think of. I thought to myself, well, how about instead of a random group of strangers that we have no connection to, that we don't care about? And if you weren't really going to kill them and just bring them back by the end of it anyways, why not bring in the Legends of Tomorrow? Even if it's just 4 of the Legends cast, why not have them come in and we could see Katie Lotz and just whoever else. I know I keep focusing on Katie Lotz. I'm just very angry that it seems like we're not going to see her ever again. It just fucking sucks. But you could bring back any Nate. You could bring back a bunch of the Legend characters. Heatwave. You know, like, you could do it, and then it would just be nice to get one episode. These are characters who already know that Barry is the Flash, so you don't have anything wrong there. And you could have them remember the experience by the end, so it doesn't come off as just lazy writing that everything just gets undone or reset, like it didn't matter. This was bad. This was bad for so many reasons. And you want to talk about bad. There is a bunch of side plots. So Keon, fake Caitlin, fake Frost, Caitlin's mother wants to meet her. And she's freaking out about it because she's like, I don't know this lady. I don't want to meet her. What if she doesn't like me? Blah, blah, blah. First of all, who cares? Who cares about any of this? Who cares about Keon as a character? Danielle Panabaker was fucked over with this horrible side plot, with this horrible bad arc, if you even want to call it an arc. And I hate that Barry and the group, people that have spent 8+ years with the Caitlin character, don't care that Caitlin is dead. Have no reaction that Caitlin basically committed suicide, right? She voluntarily turned herself into this other character to where her original personality dies and she becomes this new thing. Nobody cares about it. Even the mother, it's like, fuck, that the mom lost her daughter and didn't get to talk to her beforehand, didn't get a say in it. And of course she wants to meet this other person that basically is wearing her daughter's face. But they're not going to get deep about that. They're not. In fact, there was a scene at the end where Keon was talking to Barry and Iris, and she might have said that the meeting with the mom happened off screen. I was barely paying attention. I was writing my notes. Maybe it happened. And if it happened off screen, talk about another waste of time that didn't even need to be there. Just an excuse to bring in this Keon character that nobody likes and nobody has any feelings for. But let's talk about the all-time worst side plot in any of the Arrowverse shows. I'm talking about Chester telling Allegra that he loves her. So these characters have been dating for like 2 episodes. I'm not even joking. It's been 2 episodes because I think they flirted and they had some feelings. At least Chester, I think, revealed he liked her in the last season, the previous season, right? Who cares? So you come to here, in the first 5 episodes that was dealing with Red Death, evil Batwoman, Chester was trying to tell her or trying to talk to her about his feelings, and she kept blowing him off because she couldn't deal with it. There was too much going on, and I thought to myself, you're a bitch. Because clearly you know his feelings, you know that he wants to progress, and you're using that as an excuse to avoid things, and that just annoyed me. And then when she was finally ready to talk about it or to maybe possibly date, Chester used the excuse of like, no, we need to go deal with this stuff, so maybe after that. So they're both annoying, right? I don't care about either of their feelings. Now you get to a point where they have been dating for legit 2, maybe this is the 3rd episode where they've been dating. So we've gotten no progression in their relationship. We've seen nothing to make us think that they're a full-blown serious couple. They're still getting to know each other for what it feels like. And then he says, I love you. And I just thought to myself, every TV show, at least the badly written TV shows, They have characters date for a couple episodes and they already get to the I love you phase. Now I know that there are people who do say I love you very quickly. I get that. I'm not saying that that's not a thing that doesn't happen. I'm just saying that usually those relationships aren't the ones that last, right? Or they're not you don't love that person for real good reasons. You're just kind of throwing that out there, or you just want to feel like I love you. Again, I'm not saying that's for every single case ever, but in my experience, you only really throw that word out there that early when you're in high school. And these characters, this side plot felt like a high school situation. It felt like when he said I love you and Allegra freaked out and didn't say it back, and then Allegra's talking to Cecile because we need to give Cecile something to do. God forbid she goes off to go see her fucking daughter and Joe. God, I miss Joe. I really, really miss Joe. But so Allegra reveals that, oh no, I do love him. I'm just afraid to lose him. And I'm like, oh, of course that's what's going on. Not that maybe Allegra has this weird thing about saying that word I love you, or that she doesn't, like, she likes him but doesn't feel that just yet. Maybe make that the relationship. That would be actually interesting. That, like, I like you a lot, but I'm not at the love thing yet. That could actually be relatable or realistic. But no, of course she loves him. And then by the end of the episode, she goes up to him and she says I love you, and they kiss. And who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? I mean, it's the laziest writing. I'm going to say lazy a lot, probably, throughout this entire season. The laziest stuff I've ever seen. I hate this show. I do. Somebody asked me if Gotham Knights is worse than this. It is. I'm not going to pretend like The Flash is the worst show that I'm currently watching. But that's only because I'm also watching Gotham Knights. If I wasn't watching Gotham Knights, I probably would be even angrier about some of the bullshit that we're seeing here. I did see the preview for, or not next week. We're going to take a little break, like a 2-week break. So 2 or 3 weeks. And the next episode looks like Oliver Queen's back. Stephen Amell is back. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to it. But with the level of this writing, the quality and lack thereof of writing here, I'm not expecting it to be good. I'll just be happy to finally see a face of a character that I give a fuck about. So guys, whew, breathe, Goose Fraba. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think of episode 8 of The Flash? How bad was it? It was so bad. Please, let's talk about this. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.
Oh yeah, today I feel Super Bowl. Feel it in your mind, you lose control. Feel it in your breast, and you super soul. I don't say it